Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jerry. What's up,
Going
man?
on? How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time again.
Oh, always,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Always.
Definitely.
So
So how you been, man? A
I've
lot
been
of
good, brother. Been good. Grinding. You know how it is. You got to grind.
Yeah, you've had a lot of things going on lately, though.
It's been a crazy few years, brother, and it gets to showing you who your true brothers are and who you actually can trust with.
100%, especially when you're dealing with something physical.
Well, that's exactly it. And you start figuring out who you can. Everybody wants to tell you your brother when you're up. When you're down
Yeah,
is when you figure out who truly is your brother.
100%.
So how you been? Doing good?
I've been good, man. Wrote a script. I'm working on getting it, out there and
All
getting the
right.
equipment together. I'm getting ready to start filming.
That's the most, I'm telling you, just getting all the right equipment's expensive as shit.
It is insane.
It's an investment, brother. It's an investment.
It is into my future too.
There you
So
go. There you go.
hopefully I get Pee Wee's ass out here so I can get him on the
That's a
movie.
good time to get him when you see him on a movie. He's funnier than hell.
Yeah, I met Pee Wee finally, man. I got to
Yeah, he
meet him.
told me. He told me he came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Hanging
Yeah,
out with him.
he's a super good cat. That right there, I nothing but respect for that man.
Definitely. I could see why he was in a leadership position, and people
Oh,
really, even to this day, there's Hell's Angels that still talk about him. He's like well known in a lot of circles.
oh yeah. No, he was definitely a big figure, an icon figure.
Were you around when Jay Dobkins was?
Yeah, brother. I was in Vegas with Pee Wee when it happened.
Did you come across Jay Dobkins?
Yes, he came up with the Arizona chapter to Vegas twice.
What did you think about him when you seen him?
I thought he was a punk the day I seen him. Wanted to act like another tough guy and always trying to I try to plan himself into conversations, plan himself into circles. You already knew there was something wrong with that dude, but they all loved him because he was giving them free. And they all thought he was a baller and free and free guns and all this bullshit. Okay, you didn't even know the cat. No, but who researched him? Who backed the background on him? Come on, you know.
That's what the cops do. They feed people money to get them.
That's exactly what they did. That's how he got basically bought his patch to get in the chapter because he bought his way in. They can say it any way they want to say it, but that's what happened. That's why the case didn't go nowhere. How can you sit next to me, do some illegal shit, and then charge me, but you don't get charged? Come on now. It doesn't work that way.
He never got a full patch.
No, he never got a full
got
patch. He wanted to say he did or whatever, but he never got a full patch.
Yeah, they laid a member's patch on him. He did this
Yeah.
big role about it. I've had him on the show.
Yeah, he's to me he's still a punk.
He's a cop. He was never a biker. He was never a
No,
biker.
no, he was a bit. He was a straight federal agent. That was the end of the day. And I get it. He was doing his job, but at the same time, how was you doing your job when you're sitting there doing drugs, illegal drugs, spun out of your mind, and then you want to act like it didn't happen? That's why the case. I'm telling you that case was from the start because he was always on. So
Same thing happened with Ken Croak, but his case stuck kind of. But with the pagans, he was out doing cheating on his wife, being a total dirtbag.
Yep.
And then he goes and writes a book. What do you know?
Exactly. Just like down here in Texas, when I was talking to there was some when I was in the club, I was sitting there at the bar, and there was a law enforcement club that came in, and one of the guys was acting like he was all tough, and it says right on the back of his patch has an LE. Yeah, I know what LE stands for. It's law enforcement. No problem. You do your thing. So he's sitting there running his mouth and whatnot, and I told him, I said, brother, I have nothing to say to you. Have a good evening. So I'm just sitting there chilling, and he's still running his lip like he's special. And as soon as he cracked that Bud Light and took that first sip, I told him, I said, you run your mouth one more time. I said, me and you are going to fight. He goes, oh, I'm a cop. I said, you was till you drank that beer. I said, now you can take that gun and shove it right up your ass. I said, because now you're on alcohol. I said, so
Yeah.
You want to fight, let's get it on. If not, take your ass to the other side of the bar and shut the fuck up.
Did you have your patch on at the time?
Yeah. It's the truth. You know, just because you're law enforcement, now you want to be a biker off duty, but then you want to be a cop because I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Well, too bad. Which one do you want to do? You want to be an outlaw biker or you want to be a cop? You put on a 3-piece patch, you become an outlaw.
Yeah. And they
Yeah,
should treat them cop bikers the same way they do
there's no different.
outlaw bikers. Yeah.
Just because you're LE, if you're running a 3-piece patch and you want to classify that as an outlaw, then you're an outlaw. Or get yourself a 1-piece patch and call yourself a mom and pop club.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not a Halloween costume. Don't be a punk. You want to be an outlaw, then be an outlaw. If you want to be a cop, then put on your little badge and your baton and your spray bottle and go be a cop.
In your handcuffs.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You want to do your thing. That's your business. But you can't play both. You know you can't do both. It's just not going to work.
Yeah,
But
they want to be a biker on the weekend and then arrest people during the week.
Well, that's just it, you know. And you got the same problem right now with some religious clubs. I have no problem with Christian clubs. Cool, I'm cool with all of them. But then all of a sudden, half those guys want to be a badass because at one point in their life, now they found God. Okay, well, you can't play both. It just doesn't. Either be an outlaw or be a citizen, but you can't be both.
Oh,
And
trying to be like a badass while you're in a Christian club?
yeah, exactly. That's
Oh.
what you see now. Now they want to run 3-piece patch Christian clubs. I'm going, come on. What is the deal? At the end of the day, if you're running a 3-piece, just like you know, it is truly an outlaw standard. Doesn't make you a 1%er, but it makes you an outlaw. You know, but anymore, I couldn't even tell you how many people can we sit there right now, club wise. It used to be what, maybe 6, 7 top 1% outlaw bikers clubs.
Yeah.
I see so many 1% patches on clubs I've never even heard of. That's ridiculous. It's like everybody went and bought a 1% patch and slapped it on, not understanding what it means.
Do you agree with that everyone should get a 1% patch that's in the club, or should only certain people get that patch?
I think you should earn it. You know, I think you should understand what it is, and every patch you put on you, you should earn or be gifted to you, not bought. You shouldn't have to be able to walk over to the booth. I'm going to buy that fancy patch right there and slap it on. Every patch that's on your cut, you should earn, no matter what club you're in, mom and pop, to all the way to 1%ers. If you're wearing something, I don't care if it's the 666, I don't care if it's the Filthy Few, I don't care if it's No Mercy, I don't give a shit what club it is. Whatever the little patch means, you should earn everything you get. That's how I feel, you know, because every one of them has a meaning. Well, if it has a meaning, then you should have done it. So put in the work if you're gonna win that patch.
Does everyone get a 1% diamond when they're in the Bandidos?
They do it after they patch out.
So once they get their full patch, they get a diamond.
They get a diamond.
Do you think everyone deserves a diamond that's in the club?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people who don't deserve it. I think a lot of people don't even understand what it means. You know, I don't think a lot of people don't understand the history. You know, go sit with some of these old members that's been members for 40, 50 years. Go sit down and spend some time with them. Actually learn what you're getting into. You know, but most people, I can tell you now, if you went to Bandidos, Mongols, Hells Angels, Vagos, Outlaws, and actually sat down with them, I guarantee you, half of the members could not tell you the history of the club. Couldn't tell you what the colors mean. Couldn't tell you who started it, why he no longer is in the club, what happened. None of that. You should know the entire history of your club, and I guarantee you, half of them don't.
And I think I mean, my opinion really doesn't matter in the biker world, but I think people are getting patched in kind of fast these days.
Well, then that's the problem right now. They want numbers. Like I can tell you right now, I know for a fact 4 or 5 different chapters from a club got patched right on into the Mongols, and there was no process. Patch over.
Yeah, it's just patch for patch, right?
Patch for patch. Don't even know who those cats are. You never hung out with them. You don't know them. How do you know that they're even percent material?
They could all be out bad from another club, right?
Exactly. You know, my whole thing is, I always thought, and it's only my thought and it's my idea, so it doesn't mean a whole lot either, that you should have to go through a support club and then you prospect yourself in or probate in or whatever you want to do to become a bandito for the whole year, and then you get in. But you should have to put 2 to 5 years in a support club around other banditos actually doing your as a support club. But that's how it used to be. That's how I got in. I was in the support club for 5 years, everywhere. Went everywhere with them. Went to every run with the banditos. Went to everything as a support member from a red and gold club. And then we got the chance to patch in, and then take our whole process and our journey to get your patch.